All righty. We are live, folks. I'll wait for some of you guys to jump in before we really break it all down, but you probably know by now because you see in the title. I always like to say that. The Cardinals have made a deal, baby. Cardinals trading for Erick Fedde, kind of the guy you always expected the Cardinals to end up with. Let's be real. Sometimes you kind of say, guys, they seem destined to be Cardinals, like Sonny Gray last offseason. You kind of said, yeah, Sonny Gray, pretty good chance that he ends up with the old Redbirds. As the trade deadline got closer and closer, it sure seemed like Erick Fedde seemed like a really good fit for the St. Louis Cardinals for several reasons, which we will get into as you guys jump in the live stream here, jump on the chat as well. We got 4 of you. The chat is rolling. Hi, there's me. Who do we got? We got STL Cards. Are Cardinals sending any prospects? So here we go. Look, I saw the news. I was actually doing a bunch of other stuff for YouTube. Kenny Wallace. Everybody settle down. Please subscribe to those channels as well. But I saw the news. I said, let's jump on. So here we go. MLB Network, 10 seconds ago. The Cardinals, Dodgers, and White Sox are reportedly in agreement on a 3-team trade that will send Erick Fedde. Look, even MLB Network misspelled it. They're so excited to get this news out. Erick Fedde to St. Louis and Tommy Edman to Los Angeles. The White Sox are expected to receive a package of prospects. So there it is right there. That's from MLB Network. I first saw it. So let's give credit where it's due. I think Ken Rosenthal and Katie Wu, The Athletic, were on this first. So let's go back in time, folks. We're all getting this information kind of in real time. So here we go. 17 minutes ago, Ken Rosenthal at 12:43 Central Time says, a 3-team trade in which the Cardinals would acquire Erick Fedde, the Dodgers would acquire Tommy Edman, and the White Sox would acquire prospects is close. Sources tell me and Katie Wu. That was 17 minutes ago. Okay. Also from Ken Rosenthal, 3 minutes ago, Miguel Vargas heading to White Sox in 3-team trade. Source tells The Athletic. First with Vargas is Bob Nightingale. So I have to check. Look, I'm not going to act like I'm a prospects guru here, but Miguel Vargas heading to the White Sox. And then also, just because I'm looking at Ken Rosenthal's timeline, source, the Tigers have indeed scratched Jack Flaherty from tonight's start. There's no deal in place at the moment. So that's totally separate, but just because I was perusing Ken Rosenthal's timeline right there. Okay, in the chat, man, 46 of you guys. First of all, what do you think? What do you think of the deal? Erick Fedde, we'll run down his numbers. Last I looked, ERA right around 3. I feel like his FIP was, what was it, like 3.7? I'll give you the exact numbers, but a 2-year deal, $15 million, so controllable beyond 2024. That's nice. So you get him for next year on a nice contract, AAV, $7.5 million per year, having a really nice season, doesn't strike out a ton of dudes, but definitely an upgrade in the rotation. Is he a front-end guy? What do you guys think? I mean, from an ERA standpoint, he is 100%. Not a big strikeout guy, but look, at this point, beggars can't be choosers. He's certainly an upgrade to this rotation. Let's jump in the chat here. Mookie Blaylock says, you demand. Hey, sir. Ace, my guy, Ace. Howdy, Charlie. Thanks, Charlie. Michael Kopech, also going to LA. That's from Michael Harmon. I need to check on that. No, not Tommy Edman. People always misspell and mispronounce Edman, sometimes on purpose. Tommy Edman. I want Scherzer. If Mo thinks he is done, he has another thing coming. Okay, so let's kind of jump around here. I think, look, we're live. We're having fun. We're taking it slow. Let's kind of see what people are saying, because this is the type of deal where hopefully these prospects and more comes out by the minute, which is why I wanted to jump on and do this live as opposed to recording something, which changes constantly. First of all, are you guys going to miss Tommy Edman? He's just been banged up all season long. One of those things where, like, every time, oh, is he coming back? And there's a setback, and it takes forever, and he's scratched from his minors appearance and whatnot. But Tommy Edman, really good, obviously, all-around player, can play everywhere. Great Cardinal, good guy. But he gone. And look, if the Dodgers want one of your guys, Dodgers, one of the best organizations in baseball. I think we can all agree on that. Here we go. Ken Rosenthal, 1 minute ago, Source confirms Dodgers acquiring Michael Kopech along with Tommy Edman in 3-team trade. On it, John Heyman and by Robert Murray. Okay, so there it is. Do-do-do. So I guess the question here is, did the Cardinals have to give up anything else besides Tommy Edman? That's what we're trying to learn right here. And look, I'm just going to let Twitter marinate for a second. First of all, Tommy Edman obviously had not played in the big leagues this season yet, all banged up. Career as a Cardinal, OPS plus 99, right there at league average. A Gold Glove in 2021, can play everywhere. Middle infield, center field, just an all-around gamer. Good Cardinal, played a ton of games the last 3 years, 2021, 2022, 2023, until this season when he's been just hurt nonstop. I feel like his contract, 2 years, $16.5 million. Okay, that's through next year. So look, that's basically a wash contractually. 2 years, 16.5. They're sending to LA. They're picking up Erick Fedde, who's 2 years and $15 million. That's basically the same. You probably saw the reports yesterday circulating, John Denton, and this was coming from the DeWitts, basically saying they're not going to take on the Cardinals a bunch of extra payroll for 2025 and beyond. So there you go. Tommy Edman was making $7 million this year and $9.5 million next year. Okay, Erick Fedde. Let's get into his numbers. We've read him. We've described him a lot over the last several weeks, but let's see what we got here. Erick Fedde, 31, yes, 2-year deal, $15 million. Okay, so this season, all right, ERA jumped up a little bit because it looks like his last outing. So his last outing was just 4 innings and 3 earned runs. So his ERA this season, 3.11. His FIP, 3.76. Okay. His innings pitched, 121 and 2/3 innings, 108 strikeouts. Not a huge strikeout guy. What else we got here? 105 hits allowed, 34 walks, 21 starts, 7-4 record for a horrible. That's actually impressive. I'm not a big win-loss record guy, but to be 7-4 on a horrible White Sox team is not that bad. So this deal, Michael Kopech was one of those guys who was always hyped up forever and ever and ever and trying to figure out, is he going to be a starter? Is he going to be a reliever? So Michael Kopech this year with the White Sox, 43 appearances, 4.74 ERA, big strikeout guy, 59 Ks, 43 and 2/3 innings. Okay, so he's in the deal. Let's go back to Twitter. What do you guys think, by the way? What do you think of this deal? I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense for the Cardinals this year. Next year, you get a controllable starting pitcher on a nice deal. Jennifer says, bad move. He's closer to a 4 ERA guy long-term. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Let's look at Fedde. A lot of guys have a breakout year. This Garrett Crochet just went off the charts this year also. And he's younger, cheaper, and a lot more years of control. But, okay, so Erick Fedde, so for his career, ERA 4.92, but he was a lot worse before. And then he goes and plays in Korea. He changes his game, kind of like a Miles Michaelis type story, comes back and is really good, posting the 3.11 ERA this season. So, look, hopefully he's more of this pitcher for the next year and a half than he was the pitcher with the Washington Nationals for all those years before he goes to Korea and figures things out. Tommy would have cost $8 to $9 million next year. That's from Diana Kent. Yeah, it was $8.5 million next year for Tommy Edman. Fat Bob says, dump Carlson in there somewhere for an arm. Any arm. STL Card says, love Edman, but kind of seems like Ciani is doing what he would do. Cardinals also need that right-handed, rumored to be kind of flirting. When I say flirting, the Dodgers were interested in Tommy Edman. You read reports about that going back even to the beginning of the season, spring training, all that. Diana Kent, what prospects did we send out? And anything else coming besides Fedde? Michael Harmon, I'll be interested to see who gets bumped out of the rotation. Probably going to be Palante, even though Palante has pitched really well lately. Maybe you can say, hey, Palante improves the bullpen if they send him to the pen. Palante has also said, look, I'm better as a starting pitcher. I get better as the game goes on. All right, let's jump back on Twitter here and kind of see what's happening. This is all happening, folks, live. That's why I was going to do a recorded video, but what the hell do I know? I'm just looking at Twitter like you guys are. Ooh, how about this? Oh, this is big. Big. Tommy Pham is coming back to St. Louis. How about this? Bob Nightingale. Boom. Are you guys excited about this? White Sox outfielder Tommy Pham is also in the three-way deal and is returning back to St. Louis, as by Robert Murray reported. How about that, folks? There's your right-handed pop platoon in the outfield. I'll tell you what, as I do this, I got to jump over to YouTube now and change my title. Am I allowed to change my title? I don't think I am. I think I called it Cardinals trade for Erick Fedde. I was going to say Cardinals trade for Erick Fedde and Tommy Pham. I'm going to update it right now. Get your comments in, folks, because that's big news also. Cardinals trade for Erick Fedde and Tommy Pham. This is why you got to go live for this stuff, because everything happens as we're talking. Let's check out Tommy Pham's numbers. Tommy Pham's played for like 5 million teams in the last several years. Was in the World Series last year with the Diamondbacks. Are you guys excited to have Tommy Pham back with the Cardinals? I am. Always good for business. Always interesting. Good soundbite. Keeps it interesting. Okay, this year with the White Sox, Tommy Pham, 102 OPS plus. What are we looking at? 5 homers, 19 RBI in 70 games. 266 average, 330 on base, 380 slug for a 710 OPS. Like I said, 102 OPS plus. What do you guys think? 101 of you watching right now live. Tommy Pham also coming back in the deal. Let's see what you guys think of that. Pham should fit well as a platoon. I agree. Michael Harmon, I love it. Pham to Cards isn't on Google. Let me just make sure, by the way, okay. I need to make sure I'm not getting catfished by fake reports. No, Katie Wu. Also, Tommy Pham is headed to St. Louis, and part of this deal by Robert Murray is on it. This is fun, guys. We're just jumping on, and I'm not trying to be this expert, but it's fun to kind of scroll and get this news live as it happens. The Athletic, 15 minutes ago, a 3-team trade between the Cardinals, Dodgers, and White Sox is close. Okay. We already knew that. This was the original deal. People are just updating it now. Katie Wu says Tommy Pham is headed to St. Louis. Bob Nightingale, White Sox outfielder Tommy Pham is also in the 3-way deal. I already read that. The other talk was, so John Brebbia, you always wondered, could the Cardinals get all 3 of their needs met in one deal? I actually was at opening day with the Cleveland Guardians this year, because my buddy's the assistant hitting coach, Dan Puente. Shout out. They have a great team, by the way. Last I looked, I think they have the best record in the American League. But they were playing the White Sox that opening day. So you saw John Brebbia, you saw Paul DeYoung. So John Brebbia this year, 5.09 ERA, 45 appearances, 3.10 FIP. That's interesting. So he's actually pitched much better than his results. 53 strikeouts in 40 2/3 innings pitched. So you wonder, I haven't seen that yet, but what if you got Brebbia too? But as of now, what we know is Erick Fedde, starting pitcher. Cardinals need starting pitcher help, and they get, here we go. Tommy Pham, here we go. Russell Dorsey. Now he tweets full trade, sources tell Yahoo Sports. This is the full trade, according to Russell Dorsey and Yahoo Sports here. Cardinals get right-handed pitcher Erick Fedde, outfielder Tommy Pham. Dodgers get infielder, outfielder Tommy Edman, of course, from the Cardinals. Right-handed pitcher Michael Kopech, he's coming from the White Sox. White Sox get infielders Miguel Vargas, Noah Miller, Geral Perez, and Alexander Albertus. Okay. Folks, I've said all along, I am not a prospects guru. I know the big dogs, so I got to see if any of these folks are Cardinals prospects, okay? Let's check it out. We saw Vargas. We saw Vargas was a Dodgers guy, okay? And look, I don't pretend to be the expert, folks. That's why I'm doing this with you guys. I just want to see if any of these guys are also Cardinals prospects. So Noah Miller, also a Dodgers prospect. Gerald Perez. He isn't even listed on Baseball Reference. I look him up. He doesn't even come up. Alexander Albertus. Like I said, folks, he's a Dodgers guy. Okay. So the last guy that we need to locate is Gerald Perez. We just need to see if this guy is a Cardinals prospect. Like I said, I'm not a prospects guru. I don't pretend to be. So if you want to make fun of me for not knowing all the prospects, you can do that. Okay. Looks like there was a typo. It's Gerald Perez, Jeral Perez, and he is a Dodgers guy for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Okay. So if we believe Yahoo Sports, why shouldn't we? 132 of you guys watching. Boom. There you go. So it looks like the Cardinals just gave up Tommy Edman. And they get Erick Fedde and Tommy Pham. And the Dodgers get Edman and Kopech. Kopech has a huge arm. Edman very valuable. And the White Sox get all these prospects. All 4 of them are Dodgers prospects. I mean, if you're a Cardinals fan, which most of you guys are, don't you like that? Cardinals don't give up any prospects. They give up Tommy Edman, who hadn't been playing all season long. And look, the Cardinals also had some redundancy in terms of, let's see, Go-Go Fellas going to make the rounds. Hold on a second. Ken Rosenthal, that's not a real person, is it? Ken Rosenthal's in our chat. Is that really him or is that a fake him? Oh, Go-Go Fellas going to make the rounds? What does that mean? Is that actually Ken Rosenthal? It's hard for me to let's see. I'm gonna show this. Is that the real Ken Rosenthal, folks? I've never seen that. Okay, look. Oh, I like that. I can put the comments up. See, I'm learning all this as we go. Okay. Can Ken Rosenthal jump in the chat? Is that really him, folks? Is that really him, or am I getting a catfish there? Either way, it's all good. Okay, so let's see. Good trade. Still a long way to go from STL Cards. That's a win. I'll tell you what. Don't you think this is a fantastic trade so far for the Cardinals? You get Fedde. You get a guy who's at least what I mean, I was going to say like a 3, but I mean the dude's ERA is right at 3.11 this year. I mean, what's Sonny Gray's at this point after a rough outing? Isn't Sonny Gray's pushing about 3.7 at this point? And I know. Look, folks, ERA is not the be all end all, but it's a good catch-all stat. So look, if Sonny Gray is your ace with a 3.79 ERA, although a 2.85 FIP, so it's basically a full run better fielding independent pitching than Erick Fedde. And also, obviously, Sonny Gray strikes out a lot more guys than Erick Fedde. But still, I think let's call him a 2. Let's call him a 2 on this Cardinals team. Is he a 2 in the playoffs? Do you feel great of him as a 2? Okay. Probably not. That's probably where you're looking for Flaherty, or you were looking for like a Nathan Eovaldi. What do you guys think? Nick C says, seems like a decent trade to me. Good trade, beefy, but I will definitely miss Edman. Sucks we didn't even get to see him play this year. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put your comments up here. I don't go live enough. I don't even know all these little tricks. By the way, Triad Bank. Go to Triad Bank. They're sponsoring this along with Corner Butcher, STL Equipment, STL Lawn Care. Beefy says, good trade, but I will definitely miss Edman. Sucks we didn't even get to see him play this year. I agree. All right, let's keep going down here. He's a 3 on a playoff team. I agree with that. STL Cards. Erick Fedde is a 3 on a playoff team. I agree with that, but on this team, you're going to go Gray, Fedde, Gibson. But I think on a really good team, you'd want Fedde to be your 3. I agree with that. How about Dalton Ferris says, Skubal or Scherzer? Gray hasn't been good enough as a 1 this season. Okay, he's fallen off, Sonny Gray, but still, let's be real, guys. You feel pretty good about Sonny Gray starting in the playoffs for you guys, whether it's a 1 or 2. I mean, wasn't he second in the Cy Young last year? So I think we can call Sonny Gray. he's certainly a 1 or 2. If you want to get in the whole battle about is he an ace, look, we can have that discussion, but he's a 1 or 2. It's all good. Calm down, all right? I like this chat feature. Okay, India. How's the rotation going to play out? Bend over. Haha. So who leaves the rotation? And man, you guys are really commenting a lot. So how's the rotation going to play out? What do you guys think? I mean, they're not going to take, look, if there's not an injury, let's be real about this. They're not going to take the contracts out of the rotation. They're not going to take Lance Lynn. They're not going to take Miles Michaelis. Kyle Gibson's been pitching well. They're not going to take Lance Lynn or Miles Michaelis out of the rotation. You and I both know that. They can kind of say, hey, Palante's, innings were getting up there. Let's look at Palante, by the way. They can kind of say, look, this strengthens our bullpen. We'll put Palante in the pen if there's a spot for him there. Let's see Palante. Palante, 3.92 ERA this year, 57 and a third innings pitched. And that's just in the major leagues. Let's see how many innings he threw in the minors. Palante. Again, I'm not really worried about his innings, but you can say, look, he's a younger guy. He's 25. We'll put him in the pen. He can be our long guy. He can do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that. He's thrown what? Oh, he only threw 16 and a third innings in the minors. So yeah, Palante, the innings aren't an issue with him, but I think he's going to be the one to be moved. I just don't think you take a Lance Lynn or a Miles Michaelis and you bump them unless there's an injury coming up here. Let's see. Have we seen the last of DC, Dylan Carlson? Yeah, I don't know about that. It's me, Bob Nightingale. That's Fat Bob. I don't think that's true. So, I mean, that's not really Ken Rosenthal. There's no way Ken Rosenthal is jumping in YouTube chats. But you never know. I'm thinking, hey, maybe he's like making the rounds, but he's probably on his phone figuring out all these trades. All right, let's go to X again, folks. 152 of you watching. Let's see. First of all, are you guys excited about this? I got in this big debate with people on X the last couple of days about, I mean, don't you want the Cardinals to make moves? They're right in it. When I got in this debate, they were 2 games out. What are they, 1 game out? Are they 1 game out right now of the third wild card, I believe? Let's check it just to make sure. These things are always changing. But look, I don't know if the Cardinals are going to be good next year. Their minor league system isn't great. Who knows if the next couple of years are very lean for the Cardinals? When you're in it right now, you have a shot. How can you not go for it a little bit? I'm not saying you have to sell the farm, but man, when you're right here, you got to at least make an attempt to get into the postseason, I think. I want to hear your guys' disagreements or agreements. Cardinals 54 and 51. You got 57 games remaining. You're 6 games back of the Brewers. But the wild card, 1 game back. So you got Braves, Padres, Mets. Diamondbacks are 0.5 games back. They're a half game back of the Mets. Cardinals are 1 game back. Pirates are 2 games back. So basically, look, I mean, you got a team ahead of you. You gotta jump the Diamondbacks and the Mets. You're 1 game back. How can you not at least try to go for it? Right? Hey, it's me, Bob Nightingale. Let's see. Who's the Ken Rosenthal impersonator that we have here? Let's see. Doc Holliday, good trade, but needs some real bats in the lineup. Well, Pham should help for the platoon. Michael Fry says still need a right-handed bat. Just so y'all know, I hope you know, Tommy Pham is in the deal. If you guys did not know that. Tommy Pham is in the deal. So you get the right-handed bat for the platoon in the outfield. G. Doug says, Palante is going to be traded. He has value, and I don't think you can put him in the rotation. But don't you like him as your depth guy now? I mean, for the whole season, the Cardinals didn't have any depth. They couldn't find a 6th starter. Couldn't find anybody. At Memphis, you were trying Liberatore. That clearly has not worked out from a starting standpoint. I mean, at this point, Palante, he's done it. I mean, he's pitching to about a 4 ERA this year. And what's that as a starter? Just let's find this. Because I feel like he's been better as a starter, obviously. So Palante, Let's see here. This is fun, guys. We're all doing this together. I'm sorry if it's slow, but we're kind of processing this information as we go. So Palante, 3.92 ERA, 3.95 FIP. But let's check his numbers as a starter versus as a reliever. Where's the splits, baby? Where's the splits? 2024. I'm getting there, folks. I'm going as fast as I can. As fast as I can. Da, 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 da. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. As starter, as reliever. Okay. So Palante as a reliever this year, 6.30 ERA in 9 appearances. As a starter, 4-3 record, 3.42 ERA in 9 starts. He's been damn good. He's been damn good as a starter. So we shall see. I like him as the depth starter. Look, there's probably going to be another injury. You have 57 games to play. Okay, let's go back to X. See if there's anything interesting going on. Let's see. Let's see. All right, here we go. I'm just going through. Okay. Jim Bowden. Is it Bowden or Bowden? So as of now, 3-way deal looks like Cardinals get Fedde and Pham, Dodgers get Edman and Kopech, White Sox get Vargas, Perez, and Albertus. So a bunch of prospects. Let's see. All right. Cardinals getting Pham and Fedde. It would be pretty cool if they could have gotten Brebbia. But I feel like, look, I feel like getting a reliever, any type of reliever is not as difficult. But to fill, if your guys are thinking, look, the Cardinals had, is it fair to say, 3 needs? Starting pitcher, right-handed platoon bat. You can always use extra relievers. I understand if you guys are disappointed that it's not somebody better than Fedde. Fedde's pretty dang good. Or I know the name isn't as sexy. Really good ERA, not a huge strikeout guy. Clearly reinvented himself in Korea. But the fact that they've knocked out 2 of the 3 needs and they haven't basically at all depleted the minor league system. Tommy Edman, hey, we all like Tommy Edman. It's basically a deal, a year and a half of control for a year and a half of control. It's kind of like the deal a couple years ago, Cardinals sending Harrison Bader with a year and a half of control to the Yankees for Jordan Montgomery with a year and a half of control. And remember, I mean, Tommy Edman hasn't played a game in the big leagues all season long. Okay, let's go back to the chat. Ben Ong. Charlie, do you envision the Cards trading for one more bullpen piece? I do. I think they'll get a reliever somewhere. Who knows? I don't even know who it's going to be, but I think, look, you can get a reliever with an expiring deal, and you can give up your whatever, I don't know, 9th best prospect, whoever it is, right? I don't think they're going to have to deal off the top of the deck. Back to the chat. Neilio, if Palante pitches one of the Royals doubleheader ball games, we split with them. A rookie call-up, an effing Libertor. That was boneheaded. Yeah, the rainouts hurt him there. Let's see. Scott says, Palante, a rubber arm, never hurt. Okay, number 5. Yeah, and I think you like him now as your depth guy. There's 57 games to go, folks. That's more than a third of the season. You don't think one of these starters is going to get hurt? I hate to say it, but come on. We know it's going to happen, unfortunately. Joseph Turner, sign Trevor Bauer. Get him off the blacklist. Trevor Bauer, the Trevor Bauer folks are back. Mike Dugan. We could use Trevor Bauer. He's got great stuff and is a team player. All right, looks like I'm trying to go back and see all you guys, all your questions. I'm sorry if I missed you. Man, there's a lot of comments. So if I missed you guys early on, and because I don't ever go live, I didn't even realize you can put the questions up there, which I'm sure you guys like to see. You like to see how about this? Like your questions? Snips with a $5 super thanks. How about that? I got to show that. You can do the super thanks. Always entices people to go live. I'm not begging for money, but hey, if you're going to give it to me, I'll take it. Tommy Pham versus left-handed pitching in 2024. 255, 377, 471, 848 OPS, 141 with a weighted runs created plus. That's really good. There you go. Tommy Pham versus lefties. That's why you bring him in. And he always shakes up the clubhouse a little bit. I like Tommy Pham. Let's see. Drew P. Balls, my guy. He's a member on the channel. You got Pham. Now trade Dylan Carlson. Yeah, a lot of people wanting to trade Dylan Carlson. Let's see. I don't know. What are you going to get for Dylan Carlson? I guess you can get something. You can get a reliever. A major league reliever for Dylan Carlson, I would think, for sure. Yo mama, you mama. I feel better with Gray, Fedde, and Gibson in a playoff rotation than Gray, Gibson, Lynn. That's what I'm saying. Look, I get it, folks. If you wanted Flaherty, I understand some of you don't like Flaherty, but I'm talking about more of a front-end guy. Flaherty. Scherzer has the name. Evaldi. You feel a little better on paper, but Fedde is a 3 ERA guy this year. It's not the Erick Fedde of the Nationals, so it's an upgrade. And you get him for next season on a nice deal. Yeah, that's to me, this is the crux of it. I feel better with Gray, Fedde, and Gibson in a playoff rotation than Gray, Gibson, and Lynn. Let's see. I'm trying to grab some more of you guys in the comments. Let's see. Scott, anti-smug. It's the White Sox. None on base. 14 losses in a row. Twice. I have to look that up. 14 losses in a row twice. I don't know about that, but the White Sox do suck. So the fact that you're getting a pitcher who is pitching well for a crap team, sometimes also you get these guys out of a losing culture. If you're Fedde, if you're Pham, you're with a losing team, you're just waiting for the season to end. Everybody's depressed and all that. And now you come to a team with a chance to make the playoffs. It gives everybody a little jolt. Let's see. CJ is awesome. Is anyone else involved in the trade? Not from the Cardinals standpoint. I'll go back to X here, but it looks like, full trade was disclosed from Yahoo, and the Cardinals did not have to give up any prospects whatsoever. I think that's a huge win. Don't you guys think so? Look, we were talking about you don't want to set this team back, but the Cardinals have redundancy with Tommy Edman. You have Brendan Donovan can play a bunch of different positions, and you have Nolan Gorman who can play second, and Mason Wynn has clearly solidified himself as the shortstop, and Tommy Edman can play center, but is he really your true center fielder type? He's more of a utility type guy, Gold Glove second baseman. I just think the fact that you kept Donovan, who's the younger version of Tommy Edman with, I think, more upside, and you traded Tommy Edman, who hasn't played a freaking game this year in the big leagues, for a really good starting pitcher with equal years of control. I think that's a really, really good deal. So I'm just kind of scrolling Twitter again. Let's see. Foul territory. Ken Rosenthal. Yeah, I doubt he was in our chat. The Yankees are the team to watch, says Ken Rosenthal, who suspects the Yankees are looking for several pieces. You got to think the Cardinals will still go out and get a reliever, right? Don't you think they're basically done, though, for big moves? Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. For the Cardinals, I think you got to be ecstatic about this deal. I really do. And I'm not this guy who says, oh, Mozeliak's always great and everything the Cardinals do is always fantastic. But to fill two of your needs with one deal and not give up one prospect, and you've traded away a guy who didn't play one game with the team this year in Tommy Edman. This live stream brought to you by Triad Bank, St. Louis Equipment, and St. Louis Lawn Care, and Corner Butcher. It's always the opposite. Boom. I guess I should just go there. Triad Bank. Boom. And if you don't know the news by now, we're about 34 minutes in, but the Cardinals have gotten Erick Fedde, right-handed pitcher, and Tommy Pham, right-handed bat outfielder. Tommy Pham coming back to St. Louis. This is a 3-team trade. So Edman goes to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers also get Michael Kopech, the hard thrower from the White Sox. And the White Sox get, last checked, 4 prospects, all of them coming from the Dodgers. So the Cardinals did not have to give up any prospects in this deal. My guy Kyle Reese says, there was not a world that I thought existed in which the Cardinals would bring back Tommy Pham This reality is way better. That's my guy, Kyle. Yep. Bring him back, man, for 57 games. He's fiery. I mean, he's always fighting people, right? He's slapping people over fantasy football trades and waivers and cheating, and he's always fired up with the other team and brawls and talking smack. I think Tommy Pham is good for business. I've always said that. Let me go back through the chat here. I've missed a lot of you guys, and I apologize for that. But really, so many freaking comments. 170 of you guys watching. Let's see here. Hold on. Who do I got? Daddy Padre, my guy. Hey, read my text. Well, how about you say something interesting, Daddy Padre? Daddy Padre was the E-bug for the Blues, if you don't know. The emergency backup goaltender. So he actually almost played an NHL game. Didn't get in the game, but he warmed up with the team. That's true. Daddy Padre, our guy, back in the day, was an emergency goaltender for the St. Louis Blues. That's a true story, okay? So, Daddy Padre, I read your text. Oh, I sent it to the Marlow text line. Oh, you're texting me directly. Hold on a second. I have to check my actual text because Daddy Padre does have my number. Here's what he says. I was going to show it, but maybe there's curse words. Daddy Padre says, I love the move because I know they're cheap and they aren't going to ever get a guy like Scuba or Crochet. So I'm saying I love it for how they are and the spot they're in. Pham will hit righties. Well, Pham is right-handed, so he kills lefties. And you can platoon him. Carlson will be gone here soon. Fedde is about the same as Gray, if not a tiny bit worse. Actually, better ERA, but I get what you're saying. Stuff-wise, Sonny Gray's a little better in terms of strikeouts. Basically, Michaelis went over to Japan, came back, and he's been nasty like Michaelis was, but now sucks because they extended too long. He's talking about Michaelis. But yes, the fact that Fedde kind of has a similar story to Miles Michaelis wasn't that great with the Nationals, went over to Asia, redid himself, kind of became a new pitcher, and has been really good in the big leagues this year. Same as Miles Michaelis, especially when he came back his first year. Miles Michaelis was fantastic for your St. Louis Cardinals. Let's see here. Yardbirds. Tommy Pham didn't smile even once until the Diamondbacks clinched. Dude means business. Yeah, I agree. I like it. I'm a Tommy Pham fan. Always have been. I know sometimes he goes a little too far, but that's part of the competitor, man. Right? He's crazy competitive. Okay. Let's see. How about this? Jeff Holmes. Didn't we gain the relief pitcher with Palante going to the bullpen? Yeah, that's a good point. Strengthens two parts if Palante goes to the bullpen. Remember, though, Palante was not that good as a reliever this year. I read this earlier. I think 6.3 ERA as a reliever, 3.42-ish as a starter. So was not as good as a reliever, but maybe he also found something in the rotation he can bring back to the pen. So who knows? I think you can still grab a bullpen arm. So here we go. Steve Wright, who are the four prospects? I'm going to look them up. I like the trade. The four prospects, I did look them up earlier, folks. I'm never pretending to be a prospects guy. So I looked them up to make sure they weren't Cardinals prospects. They were all Los Angeles Dodgers prospects. So all four of those prospects going from the Dodgers to the White Sox. Cardinals getting Pham and Fedde from the White Sox. Dodgers getting Tommy Edman from the Cardinals and Michael Kopech, who's the hard-throwing reliever from the Chi Sox. Can we say Chi Sox? Chicago White Sox? Let's see. Don Haas. Pham is 36, can no longer play center field, and has 19 RBI in 70 games. Ugh. All right, let's dive into Pham here. I've already dove into Fedde. Pretty good here. But if you're just joining again, Cardinals get Fedde and Pham. Okay, so Pham, I read off his stats earlier. 102 OPS plus, 266 average, 330 on base, 380 slug, 5 bombs, 19 RBI in 70 games. But let's dive deeper into the splits. That's what this is about, okay? Tommy Pham, who, as we know, is a righty bat. I read earlier about him killing lefties this year. So let's see. Here we go. Versus lefties this year, 28 games. Tommy Pham, 255 average, 377 on base, 471 slug, 848 OPS. So versus righties, 268 average, 318 on base, 359 slug for a 677 OPS, which isn't bad, but he's really good, folks. He's really good against lefties. Really good against lefties. His home and road splits, OPS of 754 at home, 662 on the road. But look, you picked up Tommy Pham to platoon out there and to crush lefties. So there you go. Let's see here. More comments. K24 Skin. Taking into factor Goldie and Nolan's batting woes, was the right-handed bat more important than starting pitching needs? What do you guys think? I don't think. First of all, Tommy Pham, who's played for, how many teams has Tommy Pham played for in his career? So I'm also trying to figure out how much he's making this year. Tommy Pham, I mean, he's got to have played for, is it dang close to, I want to say 10 teams, but it can't be that many. Dang, it's a lot. Okay, so 11 seasons in the big leagues for Tommy Pham. He's played for the Cardinals, Rays, Padres, Diamondbacks, Mets, Red Sox, Reds, White Sox. 8 teams, and he's now coming back to the Cardinals for the second time. Let's check his salary. I know he's been signing a bunch of one-year deals. Remember also, he was in the minors a long time for the Cardinals. So he's a little older than you think. So his deal, what was his deal this year? He made $1.5 million last year with the Red Sox. Tommy Pham is how old? He's 36. He'll be 37 years old next March. All right. Yeah, I mean, clearly, look, Goldie's starting to come around a little bit with the power that you saw over the weekend. I mean, Nolan slowly. I think Nolan's what? Is his OPS? Is it 700 now? Something right around there. I know it's taken a while, folks. But Nolan is he's starting to come around. Okay, so Nolan Arenado 702 OPS for a 97 OPS plus. Look, clearly you want much more than that from a dude who's a future Hall of Famer, who's making, what is he making this year? He's making $35 million. His OPS plus is, as I mentioned, what? So it's 97 this year. His career OPS plus is 120, 702 OPS. But he is, I feel like, starting to creep up there. Let's look at his splits for first and second half for Nolan Arenado. We're jumping all over the place here, folks, but this is fun. We got breaking news, okay? Let's see. First of all, Nolan Arenado, 767 OPS at home, 647 away. First half. Okay, so it's been basically the same. Look, we've only played 9 games in the second half. So Nolan Arenado, 704 OPS in the first half, 688 here in the second half in only 9 games. But if you look month by month, okay. Yeah, his July's been his best month, 737 OPS. Steady improvement for Nolan Arenado. 687 OPS, April and March, 689 in May, 702 in June, and 737 in July. So he's slowly improving each month. Let's look up Goldie while I got you folks. 178 of you watching. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. When it's breaking news, people are excited, man. I get it. It's fun. Okay, let's see here. So Goldie's OPS plus 88. His OPS is 675. 16 bombs, 41 RBI on the season. Let's check the splits by month, as we just did with Nolan Arenado, to kind of see. So Nolan Arenado has slowly gotten better each month. If that keeps improving, you would think, I mean, look, I know you want more, but could he finish with a 110 OPS plus by the end of the season if that continues? Okay, so Goldie, 641 OPS in April, March, 682 in May, 642, so he dropped back in June, 747 for Goldie so far in July. So Goldie is really heating up here in the month of July. And 664 OPS for Goldie in the first half of the season, 793 OPS so far here in the second half, which is only 9 games, but it is what it is. Greg Aaron says, is this good? I think it's great, Greg, to me. I understand if you wanted a higher end starter, an Evaldi, a Flaherty, whatever. But you get Erick Fedde, an ERA of 3.11. You get him for next year. You get the right-handed bat that can kill left-handed pitching. You've knocked out 2 needs. And if you want to make the argument that Palante now goes in the bullpen and you fill your bullpen spot, but I think the Cardinals could also go out and get a reliever. Cole Trickle says, what the blank? Hold on a second. Where's Cole Trickle? What the blank? What, you don't like it, Cole? I think it's a good deal. Let's go back to Haunt World. Totally pointless trade. Edman would be better upgrade than anyone we could have traded for to play outfield. Fedde is not a superstar. The Cardinals staff still has no ace. What do you guys think of that? I think this is a dang good trade. Cole Trickle says, I'm okay with this. Let's see here. Jeff Holmes, do you think we may see Tink Hence called up to work the pen during the September call-up? He could be filthy for an inning at a time in limited games. Thoughts? Interesting thought. Tink Hence. I mean, Tink Hence is at what? AA here? So Tink Hence in Springfield right now, 3.20 ERA, 13 games, 77 strikeouts in 56 and a third innings. Tink Hence is what? 21. Oh, he's almost going to be 22 here. He turns 22 on August 6th. Do you bring Tink Hence up to be a bullpen guy in September? I mean, it's not the craziest thing ever. I would love to see it. I would love for that to happen because I love interesting things, but I don't know if I'd bet on that. Let's see. Cheap card sales. Best trade Mo's ever made. What do you think about that? Better than Goldschmidt? Better than Arenado? I think this is a really good trade. Didn't hurt their system. Helps them for next year with Fedde. Let's see. Cole Trickle. Fedde is a decent pitcher. Yes. Dan Levine or Levine. Good trade. I agree. Lynn to the pen. I doubt that. I don't think you're going to put the big boy with the contract in the pen. We'll see. Probably Palante, but you never know. Also, there'll probably be an injury. They won't add Hence from Colton Carragher to the 40-man this year. September call-ups don't exist anymore. Yes, they don't really exist like back in the day when you used to have like 40 people on the roster. Let's see. John Nagel, do you think this is their big splash or do the Cards have more trades in them? I think this is for sure their big splash. Could they add a reliever? Sure. I think this is it for the most part, besides maybe a bullpen arm. That's my opinion. Neilio. So how do you go after an elite pitcher and outfielder? Haunt World. You have to give up some of those prospects. Look, I looked yesterday. The Cardinals farm system is ranked somewhere between 18th and 23rd, depending on where you look. By the way, hold on. Hold on, folks. I got to plug in my computer. I just noticed that it's low on battery. Let me plug in my computer. There we go. Okay. 6-man rotation. I don't know about that. You mama. We'll see. You can probably, you can throw Palante again. I got to look at where the turn is and how quickly Fedde will get here and all that. Let's see. Fedde or Palante tonight? You think Fedde's? I don't think. I got to look at when Fedde last pitched, but you can't bring a dude day of. Let's look at Fedde when he last pitched. His last outing was not great. We already talked about that earlier. Erick Fedde, his last outing was it yesterday? Nope, 2 days ago. So against Seattle, Fedde, 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, threw 79 pitches. That was 2 days ago. So boom, 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 boom. Fedde would be on turn August 1st, this Thursday. If you were going to keep him on turn, Fedde would be ready to go by a Thursday. And you got to think, first of all, where were they at? Where were the White Sox at? Let me see their schedule here. White Sox, God, do they suck. 27-81 on the season. I'm trying to find their schedule to see where they just played. We're all doing this together, folks. It's fun times. It's fun times. Here we go. So they were at home. So basically they finished up a series yesterday against the Mariners. God, have they lost? How many games have they lost in a row? I know it's been terrible. So Fedde's basically in Chicago. He can get down here quick. Hell, he could be here. he could be here by tonight. I mean, he's not going to pitch, obviously. Like I said, he's on turn. He's on turn for Thursday. Would be his time to go. Dang. I didn't realize that. 14 straight losses. I know the text earlier. They haven't had 2 14-game losing streaks, have they? Correct me on that. They've lost. I did not know it was that bad. Jeez, oh Pete. 14 straight losses. That's just horrible. Okay. Scott, Sox, I thought I heard here in Chicago news 2 14-game losing streaks. Yeah, maybe they have. Maybe they have. Like I said, I'm following the Cardinals. I have not followed all of Major League Baseball as closely this year. I'll admit to that. I try to admit, folks, I'm not a prospects guy anymore. I don't get to follow the whole league. I'm not watching MLB Network every morning. I should, but I'm following NASCAR now. Jay Hamilton, 588. Who are realistic reliever arms available to STL? Sorry. Let me clear my throat. I don't know, honestly. I'm trying to think. Who are the big relievers? Let's look at the big relievers who are kind of on the deadline block. I mean, obviously Ryan Helsley, but he ain't going anywhere. I don't think he's going anywhere, folks. What do you think? I know a lot of people said you could get a haul for Ryan Helsley. Don't you want to try to win this year? Okay, here we go. Relief pitchers. Okay. And by the way, if some of these guys have been traded, I haven't looked at Twitter lately. Tanner Scott, Marlins, Kirby Yates, Carlos Estevez was already moved from the Angels. Who do you got? Oh, Pete Fairbanks. Pete Fairbanks, St. Louis guy, Webster Groves High School from the Rays. Obviously, Michael Kopech was moved in this deal we're talking about to the Dodgers. John Brebbia, somebody who he said could be a fit with the Cardinals. Who else we got? Andrew Chafin of the Tigers. Paul Stewald of the Diamondbacks. Yimi Garcia has already been moved. There's just some names for you guys. Again, I am no expert on this year. I don't try to pretend. So I'm just reading from the same articles you are. Let's see. Jay Stymie, Flaherty, scratched from his start tonight. Wonder where he's going. I think even if a deal's not in place, look, don't you think Flaherty's going to get moved? I would scratch his start no matter what. Even if a trade isn't close, you scratch his start. And if he's not moved, you can let him throw tomorrow or the next day, whatever it is. But if there's a good chance he's getting moved, you might as well not risk injury and scratch him. So let's see here. Fedde. This is what I'm saying. The fact that Fedde went 7-4 on a freaking horrible team. It's pretty amazing. A team that lost 14 straight games. And if they've done that again, which I believe, I don't remember that. I'm sure it happened. Yeah, Fedde with a D, with 2 Ds, not 2 Ts. How did he win 7 games? LOL with the Sox. Drew P. Balls, NASCAR drivers could beat the White Sox this year. I think I agree with that. This live stream brought to you by Triad Bank, St. Louis Equipment, St. Louis Lawn Care, Corner Butcher in Fenton, CB's Chop House, my fine sponsors, making this all possible. Yes, Dan Levine, Brebbia. Yeah, I said that earlier. As we were kind of figuring out this trade, folks, we were wondering. It started with Fedde, and then we read, okay, Tommy Pham's also involved. And then we're wondering, okay, could Brebbia also be involved? And you could knock out 3 birds with 1 stone. Brad Straubinger, my guy, says, let's see. Perfect call on Fedde. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, Fedde just felt like a Cardinal. He just does. 2-year deal, $15 million. Don't have to give up a ton. It just made sense. He's like the perfect Cardinals deal in the same way that Sonny Gray was the perfect Cardinals signing last winter. Drake Stevenson, Cards fleeced everyone. I agree. I think this is a really, really good trade for the Cardinals. Now, in terms of fleecing, folks, Dodgers probably like their haul with Edman and Michael Kopech. You fill 2 needs, and then we'll see on the prospects. All these prospects are going from the Dodgers to the White Sox. We'll see if they work out. Who knows? Maybe the White Sox got a couple really good players. So we won't know about that. But hey, Dodgers are trying to win this year. Dodgers are trying to win the World Series this year. Cardinals are trying to win. Cardinals are trying to just get into the playoffs this year. So right now, it looks like a win. On paper right now, it looks like a win for everybody. Cardinals now can really compete for a wild card. Dodgers, who have been very banged up, can really try to compete also. And they have bigger aspirations beyond a wild card. And then clearly the Chicago White Sox, in an absolute free fall rebuild, they can go ahead and prospect up, which they have with 4 prospects from what I saw. We're going almost an hour here. I'll wrap this up pretty soon. Let me read some more. Comments from you guys. Let's see. Kim Brown. So if Gray and Fedde are 1 and 2, Gibson is 3. Who is 4 and 5? Probably Lynn Michaelis. I think Palante will probably go to the pen, even though he's pitched arguably the best over the last month or so. But it's just easier to put Palante into the pen. You know how this works, folks. Contracts, veteran status, that oftentimes plays. It oftentimes matters. Let's see. Miles and Lance, 4 and 5. I agree with that. Even though when I say I agree with that, I think that's what's going to happen, not necessarily what should happen. Brad K, 6-man rotation, maybe. I don't know. We always talk about it. It never happens unless there's doubleheaders and whatnot. Haunt World. Charlie, look at Fedde's stats. He doesn't help the team. He hasn't pitched 7 innings, but once in 2 months. Look it up. He's going 4 to 6 innings. Look it up. Look it up. I already looked it all up. It's still an upgrade, folks. It's still an upgrade. Okay. We're going close to an hour here. Let me kind of look through again because I feel like so much news is happening right now. Plus, my daughter's upstairs. She's like, Dad, stop talking to the computer. Let's go on a bike ride, which we have to do. I did promise her a bike ride. So let's go through. Let's see if there's any other Cardinals trade news. As you're watching, 143 of you, thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. Let's get our subscriber count up to 8,000. We need to get up to 8,000. If you're watching right now, why don't you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already? It's free. Come on. It's a free subscription. It doesn't cost anything. Let's see. I see is Luke Bryan was Adam Wainwright singing with Luke Bryan last night? Any of you guys go to that concert? I'm just seeing that on Twitter. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Somebody's saying I'm concerned with the toxicity returning to the Cardinals clubhouse with Tommy Pham. Nah, it's 57 games. He will stir things up in a good way. He's a competitor. I love it. So here we go. Baseball trade values. Okay. Erick Fedde, $19 million surplus value. Tommy Pham, $1.1 million. Oh, this is like their actual value of the player in terms of what they're worth. Their production versus their contract. So the Cardinals are getting somebody in Fedde who's very productive despite not making a ton of money. That's from baseball trade values. All right, let's just keep scrolling here. I guess at this point, folks, we might as well push it to an hour and then I'll stop. Also, I apologize. I feel like I've gotten a little bit of a frog in my throat here. How about Frank Cusimano, my guy? He says, I'm still not sure how the Cardinals acquired a quality starting pitcher and a proven right-handed hitter for a guy who hasn't played in the big leagues. Erick Fedde and Tommy Pham can help this team, and this team could use some of Pham's passion. I agree, folks. I agree with my guy, Frank Cusimano. I don't know how you can't like this trade. Maybe you don't love it, but how can you not like it? I think it's a really, really strong, solid trade for John Mozeliak. It also sends a message to the boys in the clubhouse like, hey, we believe in you. Let's go for it. We're not only getting you players, but we believe in you. We're trying to help you get over the hump. There's a morale boost. There's an emotional boost there when you add at the deadline. Let's see. I love it. You're giving up a dude that didn't play all season, folks. You had kind of forgotten that Tommy Pham was even on the team. And you're getting a starting pitcher with an ERA around 3 and a guy who crushes lefties. How can you not be happy with this deal? I understand if you want a higher end starter. Okay, I get it. I'm with you there. But look, this is pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. Watch, I'm probably going to log off here. And the second I do, something else will happen. But I've gone an hour. I feel like we've had fun. Let's go back. You Mama says, Cusimano, spitting 100% facts. Fat Bob, great take from Frank the Tank. Let's see. Scott, fantastic fam, 422 average in the World Series last year. Yep. Jeremy Ping, Mo's hands are tied on trades with DeWitt's payroll number. I agree. And you still got somebody who has control for next year, and you didn't have to pay very much money for it. Neilio, got to get 2 or 3 against the Rangers this week. There's no way getting around that. They've just got to. And here we go. Zane T, I wish we got a lefty for our rotation. It may be recency bias, but I feel like Matz has been injured longer than he's played. It sure seems like that. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much. 135 of you watching right now. I think we got up to about 180 at our peak. And sorry for the frog in my throat, but this was fun. And I'll do it again. I'll do it again if another deal happens. How do I hide the, there we go, the comment there. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. We're right over an hour and 1 minute. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Comment, like, subscribe. This live stream brought to you by Triad Bank, St. Louis Equipment, St. Louis Lawn Care, and Corner Butcher and CB's Chop House in Fenton. If you like these live streams, if you like my channel, if you like the content, please support our sponsors. And when you go there, tell them you heard about it from me. Once again, Triad Bank, St. Louis Equipment, St. Louis Lawn Care, Corner Butcher. Cardinals get Erick Fedde, right-handed pitcher, starter. Cardinals get Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham-tastic is coming back to the Cardinals in a reunion. He's killing lefties this year. And maybe if Palante goes to the pen or somebody else, that takes care of your reliever option. But also, you wonder if the Cardinals are going to go out and get another relief pitcher. We shall see. Fedde and Pham to the Cardinals. Tommy Edman goes to the Dodgers. 3-team trade. And all the prospects are going from the Dodgers to the White Sox. All right, folks. Thank you. See ya. Fun times. Trade deadline.